That Friday night began much like any other, except I had been counting down the days to it. Work had drained me all week, and I'd pictured us unwinding over dinner, sharing a few laughs, and feeling close again. Instead, when I walked through the door, the living room sat in silence. On the coffee table lay a small note. Out with the girls. Don't wait up. A dull weight settled in my chest. It wasn't the first time she'd gone out without a word, but lately it had become a pattern. She'd grown distant, barely talking, constantly scrolling through her phone, finding reasons not to spend evenings together. I tried calling, but it rang unanswered. Minutes later, a text popped up. Relax, I'm with friends. I'll be late. I wasn't the jealous type, but being left out again and again, without so much as conversation, made me feel invisible. I had already noticed her Friday routine. The same high-end restaurant, the same pricey meals and cocktails, the bill always landing on my credit card. That morning, I glimpsed the latest statement in her purse. The numbers didn't shock me. It wasn't about the money. It was about the principle. She enjoyed the comforts my work provided, but seemed to have no interest in sharing the experience with me. When she mentioned another girls' night, I smiled and said, "Have fun." My mind was already made up. The moment she sat down to order, she discovered the dinner wasn't on me this time. That evening, I watched her leave in her favorite dress, heels clicking against the floor, every movement brimming with confidence. 10 minutes later, I opened my banking app and froze her card. I could already picture her face when the payment failed. The rooftop bar was buzzing when she arrived. Her friends welcomed her with cheers and hugs, phones ready for selfies. She slid into her seat with that polished smile, the kind meant to broadcast a perfect life. When the waiter approached, she handed over the very card I had just blocked. The first sign of trouble was a hesitant smile on the waiter's face as the machine refused to process the payment. He tried again, declined. She kept her composure, inserting the card once more, but her fingers trembled. Conversations at the table faltered. A friend leaned in, asking quietly if everything was okay. She nodded, though the heat rising in her cheeks told another story. When the waiter returned, shaking his head, the cracks in her confident mask widened. Her friends exchanged awkward glances, whispers curling through the group. She excused herself to the restroom, no doubt hoping to collect herself, but the embarrassment had already settled in. By the time she returned, the air at the table had changed. The smiles were strained, the whispers sharper. Even the photos she took for social media looked hollow, the spark replaced with something forced. I wasn't there to see it all, but word travels quickly. The next morning, the house felt heavy. She moved slowly, avoiding my eyes. When I'd asked about the card, she forced a smile and blamed the bank. But we both knew something between us had shifted, and no easy excuse could cover it. Over the following days, she went out less. The laughter in her voice was quieter, her gaze often far away. Eventually, she admitted the truth, how much she'd leaned on the life I'd built, how she'd taken for granted, and how humiliating it had been to be exposed in front of her friends. I told her it wasn't just about the money. Respect, honesty, and partnership mattered far more than expensive dinners. She nodded, tears streaking her face, and for the first time in a long while, I felt she truly understood. That moment became a turning point. We began rebuilding, sharing responsibilities, carving out time together, speaking openly. I never revealed that the card freeze had been intentional, a way to see if she valued us beyond what we could buy. A relationship isn't a luxury to be displayed. It's a commitment, one that demands care and respect. The lesson was hard-earned, but it may have saved what really mattered between us. Sometimes, it takes a sharp jolt to wake someone from a comfortable illusion, and in her moment of public embarrassment, we found the first step toward something real again.